Alright guys, so here it is. These are all of our green giant arborvitae. And if you watch some of my other videos, maybe last year I think it was that I took, of the hedging plants, that's what we're going to use right here, green giant. And we're going to build a hedge along the front of our property. Now I bought these last year at Sandy's Nursery in Florida online and had them all shipped to the house. They were just tiny little guys in 2-inch pots. And I potted them up in 1-gallon pots. Now, last year when I first potted them up, they were so small that you could see all of the 1-gallon black pots below, but they filled out so much you can't even hardly see the pots anymore. And they grew really fast that year. Now, through the winter, the tips of the foliage turned an interesting bronze color like a lot of cedars do. And now that spring's starting to come on, we're in April now, the tips are starting to turn lime green again, and you can just see they're just taking off like crazy. These things are already growing, so I've got to get them in the ground. I've already been dumping wood chips along the front where the hedge is going to go, and I'll take some shots of that and show you what we're going to be doing here. These guys have got to get planted out this year. Look at this. I'm just amazed. We're not even in the main part of the growing season, and the shoots here are just, all of this is new growth. From here, from my fingers up, is all new growth. All of this lime green is new growth. And I'm just amazed at how fast these green giants take off, man. So starting really early in the season, and these things were lime green like this and just putting on growth all the way through, I think it was October last year, maybe into November, so I'm expecting a ton of growth on these guys this year. Oh man, the wife's gonna kill us. So I dumped a ton of bark, or wood chips, all over our beautiful lawn. But, you know, you gotta have a little fun, right? So if you guys remember that video, I was showing the emerald green, or not emerald green, come on Mike, the green giant arborvitaes. We don't like emerald green arborvitae because deer just eat them like crazy. But I showed you I was going to grow a hedge along here, and I was going to start it right at the entrance of our property and go all the way down this fence line all the way to the end. Well, all the wood chips we had piled up, I've been dumping all along the fence line here, and I did the same thing over to this side, but I didn't get all the way down yet. I'm going to have to come back and finish that all the way to the edge. It's not going to take too much longer, but I've got tons of wood chips just piled up in the yard, and we're going to start the process of planting these green giants out and showing you how they develop along here. The reason I dumped so many wood chips is because I know they'll break down and feed those things over time, and I just want them to have tons of moisture in the ground and be able to grow really fast and really nice, just to give us some more privacy from all of this going on across the road. Alright, as you guys can see, I finally finished getting all of this wood chip spread out along the front of the property, and I've already started spreading it out by hand. So that's a lot of work. Today I'm going to get the tractor out, the old Ford 4000, and we're going to spread the rest of this out with the tractor, at least rough it out, and then we'll go ahead and touch it up by hand. The other side's done too, all up along the border here, and so we're going to get all that finished up and we will start planting. By the way, that's a cross beam that fell during the winter. I need to get these guys permanently put up. It's not up at an angle like that on purpose. But anyway, we'll get this finished up and get all these guys planted out. Love this old turtle. No matter how much I use and abuse this thing, it always runs. All right, guys, it was a lot of work, man, but we got it done. We dumped down, shoot, I don't even know how many cubic yards of wood chips here, but pretty much took out that whole pile I had saved up all the last year and a half or so, and we spread it about 6 to 8 inches deep all the way along the entire front of the property. It's over 330 foot, including the entrance, and now we're going to get planting those green giant arborvitaes. Alright, so we've got all of our wood chips spread out along the front of the property, and we're getting close to time to start planting. I'm going to have to make 100 holes here in the soil, and instead of digging them all by hand, we're going to use the tractor and the post hole auger and try to get all this done quickly. So I just wanted to show you a shot of these green giants. If you remember in the previous videos, I got these as just little starts. They were in 2-inch pots, and when they were shipped to me, and I potted them up into these 1-gallon pots, and they grew really well last summer. And now we're in spring. It's still very cool outside. It's the 1st of May today, and these guys have already put on probably 4 inches of new growth. You can see it starts right about here, the new growth, and goes all the way up here. And as you can see, all the tips are starting to turn a really nice lime green and put on a lot of new growth. I mean, these things just take off fast early. And I remember last year in the fall, they grew for quite a ways into the cold season of fall. And I just think these things are going to really create a big, beautiful hedge in no time flat. So, all right, let's get busy. Alright, it begins, guys. We are planting the Thuja green giant arborvitae, and I've got these about 5 foot out from the fence line and 5 foot apart, so we're going to see how they do. Now, once I plant them, they look a lot smaller, but you can see I got the pots lined out all the way down. These guys are going to be beautiful. And they are going to fill in this whole area and give us some noise protection and just make it a more tranquil garden inside here. Alright, guys, the hedge is officially done. We'll have a nice grand entrance on either side here that towers. Apparently these things grow up to 60 foot. We'll find out. So hang tight. In 20 years I'll make an update. But anyway, they're growing on real good. And you can see them guys are starting to establish and put on new growth, and they're probably maybe 14 inches high right there, 15 inches high, something like that. But I'll give you updates as the years progress. Alright, so I guess that concludes our hedge video for now. I wanted to show you guys a couple clips that came in from a viewer on my YouTube channel, and that's Harry. Thank you very much, Harry. These are awesome pics, and they kind of help me understand where my hedge is going to end up someday. But I'll show you the pics here, and what he said was that he took these 18-inch tall trees and planted them about 4 feet apart originally, and they are about 18 years old now, and 13 foot wide at the bottom and 20 foot wide, or 20 foot tall at the top. And the interesting thing about this hedge here is you can see, if you've looked at a lot of pictures of green giant trees, that they're really full and thick. And what he did was at about 3 years and then 6 years, and that was kind of him guessing on those time frames, but he came up and clipped the very top of all of the trees as they were growing so that they would fill in faster. And so anyway, if you guys are interested in growing one of these hedges, that's how you get those results in these pics here. And it does appear, if you've looked at a lot of these pics, it doesn't make the tree quite so tall and skinny. It fills it out and thickens it out a lot more and makes a thicker hedge. So anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. Thanks a lot for sharing that, Harry. And we'll make a decision on whether we're going to clip the tops of these as we go along on our property. So anyways, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.